Hi viewers, welcome to crickworld.com, the cover point, the review show with the man himself, Chika. Moving on to the next game, the latest game that happened yesterday, the Delhi Daredevils versus the Chennai Super Kings. Oh, what can I say with 4 runouts in the innings, Chika?
Well, it's absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me. It's absolutely ridiculous, the way they ran themselves out. I mean, and it's like most of the time there's a call of the batsman who said, yes, no, that actually the guys who got run out, most of the times they run out because of bat calling from the partner. See, Du Plessis called half the way and said, oh, come, then he sent back Vijay. So poor fellow, Vijay is going through a bad luck. When the bad luck strikes, my dear friends, I can tell you one thing, it really strikes. Number 2. Then you see same thing happen to Badrinath. The runner called him, said, come, then he sent him back. Calling, man, simple. Say either yes or a no. You can't say yes, no. You can't do this yes, no business in life. In life itself, you can't do yes, no business, correct? If you do yes, no business in life, you'll be run out in life.
That's so true. But Morne Morkel continued his brilliant spell. 2 wickets for 17 runs, so 17 odd runs in 4 overs. I think the previous game also he proved he took 3 wickets, especially with overcast conditions after rain fell. I think he was more effective than ever.
See, yes, Morne Morkel everybody knew because of his height and bounce he's going to be the most dangerous bowler. But if you look at it, I think yesterday's the Chennai Super Kings also started losing wickets. But I think Sehwag did a very sensible thing. Because he knew he wanted to finish off Irfan Pathan as early as possible. So if you look at it, he didn't hold on Irfan Pathan beyond 10 or 12th over. By 12th over, Irfan Pathan's spell was over. Because he knew if Irfan Pathan is going to bowl the 15 or 16 or 17 overs, he is going to bowl those full tosses, juicy full tosses, get hammered everywhere. You understand? So he tried and finished off Irfan Pathan, number 1. But I think the biggest problem was, yes, Chennai Super Kings lost early wickets. But still, why is Dhoni coming at number 7, man? Boss, you are one of the biggest hitters in the world cricket. You are the captain of the Indian cricket team. You have done so much for Indian cricket. You have played so much. You can't come at number 7. And now number 7 you come, you still have 7 overs to go. And then you are all doing this singles and ones and then I don't know what Bravo and Dhoni were doing yesterday. On one side, are they trying to say, no, we can still hang around and play? At least one of them should have taken a chance. Nobody took a chance. The problem is, they bowl very sensibly. You see the left-arm spinners. Okay, Nadeem bowled well, fair enough. Vandermeer bowled well, yes, fair enough. But when you are in trouble, at least one of them could have gone for the bowling and said, boss, let me try and hit out. You can't wait for every time the last 3 overs to hit out, boss. Boss, in 2020 cricket, you don't have time. 5 balls, you have time to settle down. After that, you have to keep going. Either you keep rotating strike, you don't do anything, you just hang around there and then say, no, we lost early wickets. No, I won't argue all that. That's all excuses. That is why, and first of all, you can't come at number 7. And I think it's something has to be done about the batting order of Chennai Super Kings. I think, otherwise, you're then too dependent on Raina again. If Raina doesn't score on the top, are you going to get stuck?
True, that's so true, Chika. Very valid point, but
Boss, you know something? I'm very surprised. A guy like Albie Morkel comes at number 8 and he doesn't get a ball to bat. He got, 3-4 balls to bat? And he is one of the biggest hitters in 2020 cricket. So when you have Albie, Bravo, Dhoni, you have, what do you call, up the order, the guy called Du Plessis, then you have Vijay, you have Raina, Badrinath, oh man, everybody can smash the bowling, correct? True. So then Jadeja in between. So you will have to do something and say either one end you hang around, one end you start hitting, one end you hang around, one end you start hitting. Both ends you can't just keep on hanging around.
True, that's so true. But having known that Dhoni always wants to take the match till the last over, keep the best for the last, do you think his ploy was right in such a small ground where he could have easily gone for those shots? Or is it because of difficult bowling conditions over there?
Boss, it's absolutely bad batting, that's all. I mean, let's call spade a spade, man. Let's call spade a spade. It was bad planning and bad batting. And bad running between the wickets. I mean, if you play poor batting, it's poor batting. You have to accept the fact. The same team against Deccan Chargers 2 days before that was totally different. Why? Because they went after the bowling right at the beginning. And they were able to score 193. Why? How did they score 193 there? Same thing. They went after the bowling. You have to go for the bowling. And let's also face it, a guy like Ravindra Jadeja is too good against spin, but when some guy pushes it slightly on the quicker side, he's a guy who goes on the back foot.
True, that's where the captaincy of Virendra Sehwag made a big difference, and he also was in good touch when he opened for Delhi Daredevils. He scored a quick fire 30 that he's always known for. His batting is looking up. I think he feels a far more comfortable person once he starts middling the ball even as a captain.
Man, when you have a total of 109, what does he expect? You can just go for the bowling, and you see the batting order they have, the top four. Oh, Namanoja is a good cricketer. Virendra Sehwag, you have Kevin Peterson, you have Mahela Jayawardene. So they have four solid guys, three solid and one semi-solid guy in the top four. And your total is only 109. And Virendra Sehwag's batting, dear viewers, is the greatest thing. Boss, he'll never change his game at any stage. I mean, I remember asking him a question. It was in the, a match and as a chairman. I remember one-day series against West Indies. He got it for a first ball out in the previous match somewhere. First two matches he failed. And Ahmedabad, he got it for 0, I remember. So Ahmedabad, after the match was over, Rohit Sharma almost won the match for us. We lost the game. We were 2-1 up or something. The next game was in Gwalior. I think, yeah, Gwalior. Gwalior or this thing? Indore. So I asked Viru, why don't you just hang around for a couple of overs and then go for your bowling? He said, sir, my game is only same thing, sir. I am not going to change my game, sir. I said, fine, Viru, but then you just keep this in the back of your mind. He said, yes, sir, I accept it. Yes, probably just get my eye in a couple of overs, then go for it. Next match, he gets a 219. Double 100 in one-day cricket. Previous match, he gets on the first ball. He says, I'm not going to change my game. Even if I get on the first ball, fifth ball, 100, 200, he says, I'm not going to change my game. He is very clear about his approach. He will attack. His best shot will be his wicket-giving shot. He'll lose wickets on the same shot, slash out the last stump, but the same shot he'll get those runs also. I mean, sometimes I wonder what, but that guy's balance is superb, and he is the most dangerous cricketer today in this particular 2020 format.
True. Finally, one point, Chika, talking about Virendra Sehwag's superb hitting over the top. Do you see any resemblance between your style of batting and Virendra Sehwag's style of batting? Because you're the one who invented over-the-top hitting in cricket.
No. I think Virendra Sehwag is far too superior to me. I don't think I can play like Virendra. Don't forget, Virendra Sehwag has got 2 triple hundreds in Test cricket. So many double hundreds in Test cricket. I could never achieve all that. But I think I like the way Kevin Peterson played yesterday. And that's very important. And I don't know how long Kevin Peterson is going to play because of this English county coming up. So, but I think his is going to be a very valuable thing there for them.
True, like you touched upon, coming straight from a Test series against Sri Lanka and getting used to this kind of format is, really a great thing. Understanding that even he's played Test cricket like a T20 cricket where he's thrashed 150 odd runs in 70 odd balls against Sri Lanka. That's like a massive add-on to Delhi Daredevils.
Now, Kevin Peterson's approach towards cricket is positive, aggressive. He comes in, bowls a few overs. See, Virendra Sehwag, I think, managed his bowling brilliantly yesterday. He rotated his bowlers brilliantly, and that was very, very important. And I think Kevin Peterson is a great asset if he gets going.
Okay, perfect. Straight from Chika's heart. Thanks a lot, Chika, for your time. Hope to catch you viewers on yet another episode of Crickwell's Cover Point. See you soon.